We are live and we are back. Guys, this is day three, and we have such a special guest with us today. And man, to those who, if this is your first time tuning in, this is Miracle March. Welcome to Miracle March, where our goal and mission is to help and continue to help the minds of inspiring entrepreneurs through leadership, through coaching, and our goal is to just to really help with transformation. And so today we have Laura. Laura, what is up? What is up? Where are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Man, I am doing pretty amazing. How are you? Tell us who you are, and let's get into questions.
Yeah, sure thing. So my name's Lara, Leverage with Lara. Um, I am just getting started in real estate. I'm coming from a background in emergency medicine. I'm a tech in an ER. Before that, I was a EMT for 10 years. So this is me navigating my way through learning everything from A to Z. And I'm so happy to be here, and I really appreciate this opportunity.
Absolutely. So you were in ER and for 10 years.
Yeah. EMT for 10 years. I got interested in real estate. Just, I don't know, I was starting to feel kind of burnt out, and I was like, man, there's got to be other ways to make money, man. And, YouTube University led me one through another, and I ended up in the greatest mentorship in the planet in sub two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the key things you just said is like you're experiencing burnout in your job, and you're looking for new ways to make money. Because I've felt exactly like that, where it's like, how could I make more money, man? And it's like there's just no thoughts, no ideas. It's like trying to figure things out. I actually thought I had to go to Best Buy to make more money, to have a second job or something like that. And so it landed you on real estate. And so we've met in the greatest community on planet Earth, right? And now you're here. You are one of the 30 people who got a one-on-one with me. How
Yeah.
could I help you? What could I help you with?
Well, first, can I tell you that I remember when you did this last year, right?
Yeah.
I do, and I signed up and I got a spot, and then I chickened out and I canceled it because I was way too scared to talk to you.
Why did you check it out?
Man, because I was so scared of being new. I was like, "Oh, man, like, this guy, Keston, he's coming in, he's a big hitter, and, like, I'm gonna show up and be like, oh crap, I know nothing.'"
Oh man. Well, clearly things has changed in a year. So
Yeah.
so talk to me. What do you have going on now? Now that you've gained the confidence, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the biggest change for me has been learning how important mindset is and really just going with a better sense of clarity, I should say. Yeah, because when I first joined the community, I had shiny object syndrome. Like, whoa, like
Hmm.
I anything that was new, I was like, oh, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that, maybe I should do this, and really, it wasn't until beginning of January I was like, man, I gotta like sit down, I gotta like really just pick something, and I've actually decided to go into the multifamily route, and I know it's a slower route, but it seems to be the one that has like the better long-term gains. And
Mm.
I'm reaching out and connecting with people.
What
So
would you
that
say? What would you say your goal is?
so the goals that I have written down for myself, my theme for this year is connection. 2023 is connection, and my goal is actually 20 units by the end of March. I have no idea how that's supposed to happen, but I've just been talking to as many people as I can,
Wow.
doing a little bit of broker outreach too, uh, trying to talk to people that are doing underwriting, um, people that have experience talking to banks, I'm still just learning as much as I can.
Awesome. So you have this goal, 20 units. You want to do it by March. And so you're connecting with people, you're doing some broker outreach. The way how you said, I'm doing some broker outreach too, it doesn't seem like that's the primary way that you're trying to look for these units. So talk to me about your process. You're a 9 to 5er, you still have a job. So when do you get this in, and what are your must-haves? Right, we call it the big rocks. Have you ever read the book, The Four Maps of Happy Successful People?
Yeah, I finished it maybe 2 weeks ago.
Perfect, perfect. So you know the big rocks, and to those who's listening, he talks about actually he gave a story in the author gave a story into a class, and there was a science teacher who wanted to teach the class a lesson, and he took a, let's say, a canister, and he filled it up with rocks. He filled it up with big rocks, and he asked the class, hey, is this fill? And they said yes. And so then he took some pebbles, and he took the pebbles and he filled it up as much as possible. And then he asked the class again. He said, hey, is it now filled? And they said yes. And then he took sand and he poured sand into the canister. And then he asked the class, now is it filled? And by this time, they're like, well, he's up to something. And even though they still said yes, he was still able to put water in it. And the lesson that he was trying to get across was that if you don't do the main things first, your day gets filled up with a bunch of sand, it gets filled up with water, and you get pulled away from the main goal, the main thing. What are those big rocks you need to put in? Because guess what? If your day starts out with sand, if it starts out with water, there's no room for the big rocks. And so you end up not doing that main thing. So now, Laura, since you just finished reading this book, what are your big rocks for you to be able to hit this goal effectively?
Right. So the biggest rocks for me right now are one, actually talking to brokers and agents. The other way, since you asked me if it was my only way, I'm in other, like, Facebook groups where people are like, hey, I'm trying to offload like this property. I'm like, yes, I will talk direct to seller. So I'm trying really hard to have at least 5 decent conversations a day when I'm off. When I'm working, it's almost impossible because they're 12-hour shifts.
Sure.
Yeah. And then I'm still on the learning basis. So I'm trying to watch as much as I can about learning how to underwrite, how to actually value properties.
Let me tell you what I really like about what you're saying, right? Because you've set a goal that you have no idea how you are going to accomplish it.
I
And
don't.
I love that, because I think when people set goals that they absolutely know how they're going to do it, they become complacent. It's just like that's not a goal. And I always say, Bob Proctor, he always shares that goals are not to get, goals are to grow. Right? Like, because if you set a goal and you know exactly how to do it, that's just something you could do. But a goal you should be able to learn something new and become a new person by going after this goal, because you have to learn something. You got to figure it out. And so it's definitely something that I really appreciate about your goal right here. Now, the other piece to this, and you've said it, you've joined groups to be able to start learning. I love that. I love that. And so now, in going back to the rocks, you have this 20 unit goal. if I went into different groups, if I go on your social media, would I know that you're trying to hit this goal?
I'm so bad at the social media game. I'm trying to get so much better about it. I understand the importance of being vocal and, projecting it out into the universe and letting it be known, hey, this is who I am and this is what I'm looking for. So I am trying to get better at that. I definitely, I want to get better, is what I can say. I'm not quite sure how to do that while still maintaining consistency with the other important things, because I'm kind of afraid of taking on too much at once.
Got it. Now, what do you consider to be the most important things? Are is it reaching out to brokers or reaching out to sellers, off market deals? They're smaller units, so you should be able to still pull a list for those types of properties.
Yeah.
Which go
So,
ahead.
yeah, I think both are important. Also from like a cost perspective, um, broker outreach is free to call up
Yep.
a broker about a listing. Um, I have been doing some minimal direct to seller outreach. And then, I would love to do more of that. I feel more comfortable having those one on one conversations with actual sellers.
Mhm.
Um, that's just a preference of mine.
Yeah.
But no, the goal is to continue on with that. And honestly, I would love to partner up with somebody who would prefer to do broker outreach, and then I can talk to sellers. So if anyone's watching, hey, let's.
I mean, you bring up a really good point, and I always try to advise my clients when you have limited time, how do you multiply yourself? You
Yeah.
partner up, you squat up, you start working with people and working with people who could do the things that you can't do because you're at work. Because and ultimately that's what a business is, right? You have people in place really there to support you, help you, cover you when you can't do it because and that's leverage, right? That it's probably one of the most important things we could do as business owners. It's leverage, and so you don't have time, so you could leverage someone else who has more time, right? And so maybe you may have a little bit of capital that could go into marketing, or you guys come together on a goal and you leverage that person. Is that something you've tried?
Um, yes, a little bit. Mostly, right now, I just have an amazing accountability group. A lot of my girls are in here right now
Let's
in our
go.
squad with purpose. Uh, so they're a great support system for me as well. Mostly, I've just been talking to other people that are interested in moving into the multifamily space.
Mhm.
Just trying to see what value I can provide with them, whether it's promote their deals, and then they're on the lookout for what I want to buy as well. But as far as like finding the one person that I can leverage off of for a partner, I've not quite made that connection yet.
Okay. Well, I think that's something that you could definitely do. Until then, especially to hit your goal right now that you want to hit, I really do believe that keeping the main things, which is generating leads. How do you generate leads? You got to talk to the brokers. You got to blast it on your social media. Everyone should know what you're doing, because most of the leads that come in comes from people. Like literally today, I spoke to a guy who is like, "Hey man, I heard you're this is what you do. How could I provide value? I want to give you he had so he's leveraging money. I'm like, perfect. I get deals sent to me. I can leverage your money, and because people still send me deals, right? So it's if you're not putting yourself out there, if and it's great to have your community. I love the fact that you guys have that community, but beyond your community, you have the world. And so that's what social media is. And I know you just started your YouTube. Guys, follow Laura, Leverage with Laura on YouTube. But at the same time, I need you to get to these brokers. I need you to push out and let them know what you're doing, because that's the only way people will know you. Like, oh yeah, I remember Laura was looking for this deal, right? Because we have hundreds, thousands of people as an army in our community that could be leveraged.
No, that's a great point. It's a great reminder. Yeah. I think sometimes I overthink things too. I'm like, oh man, don't really know what to tell people, but really, I'm overthinking it. It could really just be as simple like, hey, it's Lara. This is what I do. This is what I'm looking for. Yeah.
So, guys, we're about to go into it, because right now I'm about to start digging a little deeper. Laura know my style, right? I'm gonna start digging a little deeper now. So share the link, invite somebody, let them know that we're doing this. If you're already looking, like, subscribe, because we're gonna get this is where it takes a turn. So Laura, why do you think that happens? Why do you think you're overthinking? And yeah, why do you think you're overthinking it?
Um, that's a great question. I think I overthink because I want to know all the outcomes, even though that's probably never going to happen for me. Um, I'm too busy like thinking about like, oh man, well, what if I do this and it looks really crappy and it doesn't look credible, and then people are gonna write that off and be like, oh, this girl doesn't know what she's talking about. Um, so I've definitely been guilty of that before, uh, where I just don't even start because I'm overthinking it.
What happens if somebody says this girl doesn't know what she's talking about? What happens?
Um, well, I feel like crap when that happens.
Why do you think that is?
We're really going deep, huh? um, because I want to do good in the world and I want to do something that I'm proud of. So I seek some forms of external validation in that.
Mm. Do you think doing good in the world and having validation, so when you put something out there, are you doing it with the intention to do good, or are you doing it with the intention for validation?
That's a really good question too. Um, well, I know that I don't ever put anything out there if I feel like it is only for my gain,
Mhm.
um, because I would feel selfish that way. So I feel like if I don't have something to offer another person when I'm putting something out there, then that's being selfish and
Mm.
it's not serving anybody else but myself.
But what's the intention? And this is like many people. You are finding it's the perfect reason to not do the thing, right? And so what is it about someone validating you that makes you feel that trumps the intention?
Honestly, I don't even know how to answer that. Can you rephrase it a little bit?
I can. Right now, the external validation trumps, it's a little bit higher than the intention, because you know that you have a good intention, but what would they say about me? How would I look? All of that causes you to not take action. It paralyzes you. And so, why do you think it's that way versus this way?
I don't know, maybe it's just a track record thing.
Tell
Like,
me about that.
I mean, because usually you know, I stop short of it, and I haven't ever really put myself in a position where I'm like, "No, no, 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 my intention is so good, forget the rest and what anybody else thinks about it." Um,
Do you believe your intention is so good that forget what the rest thinks about it?
Maybe not. Maybe not. Um, and then again, this is might be because I'm still new in this field, and I don't want to come off as though I'm masquerading around as an expert when I'm not one yet.
Do you know how to underwrite a deal?
No, I'm still learning.
Still learning. Um, is your knowledge, would you say, how long have you been doing real estate?
Well, I don't even have a deal in under my belt.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I joined the real estate mentorships up to last year.
Hmm.
Um, but I tell everyone I've only really actively been pursuing real estate since January.
Okay. So since January, you've been actively pursuing it. And from a knowledge standpoint, do you think that you know a lot more now than you knew 2 years ago?
Oh yeah, a whole lot more. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, are there people who are at their jobs just like you were that don't understand that this even exists as an option for them that you can inspire simply because you made that step?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of them, yeah. I guess is this that whole you're one chapter ahead of everybody? I mean, no, that's a valid point, Keston. No, yeah, I'm several chapters ahead of where I was even a year ago.
Right?
Like mindset alone, you know. Um, I was too scared to even participate last year, and here I am, like I'm ready. Like let's talk in front of like all these people live.
So when you tell me that you're not doing something because you don't want it to look like you're an expert or you like, let's go deeper because we're essentially talking about and not wanting somebody um to say you're an expert or to say like who does she think she is, like all of these things goes to the root. If we were to go deep, it goes to self-image. It goes to that self-image. And if I were to ask you, who do you think you are as a person? Like, how would you describe Laura? How does Laura describe herself? What are some adjectives you would use to describe Laura?
Um, Goofy, kind-hearted, and a good listener.
Goofy, kind-hearted, and a good listener. So I love that. I think you're absolutely. I could totally see all of those qualities in you. Um, do you see yourself as being an imposter?
Yeah, maybe. Like in the terms of we were talking about social media, I think that's exactly why I don't do more with it. is because I feel like an imposter if I would post anything right now.
Where do you think that comes from?
Yeah, probably just upbringing. You know, a very observant child, watching how other people navigate through and the backlashes they receive.
Hmm. So it's almost like a protection mechanism that's like, I don't want to get hit, so I'm not gonna even do that. Or I love using the analogy of getting things wrong on paper, right? We are scarred by the big red X our teachers gave us when we got something wrong in class. And so making a mistake it's like I just want to, unless I know exactly what I'm doing, I'm not doing anything at all. Is that kind of how you feel?
I can definitely say I'm guilty of that.
Cool. How do you see yourself in the future? Like if you had to write a vision story of your life, like just off in the sunset, we're going to use this imaginary faculty that allows us to see the future. What would you what would that story look like? Who are you in the future?
Are we talking in a sense of the end goal of like who I would want to be in the future?
The end vision.
The end
The-
vision.
and I say, and I'm clarifying words because goals are, it's like a steers towards your vision. Your vision is the overarching thing that you see, and then you set these goals to get there, right? Let's go straight to the vision. Forget the goals, forget the 20 units, forget all those things. Who do you see off in the sunset right now? Like who's that Laura?
Yeah, so the Laura of the vision is someone who is successful and dependable to many people. I have a deep heart for people experiencing homelessness and people in a mental health crisis. I see that a lot, and there's just not enough resources for them. I see that
Mhm,
firsthand every day at my job. Um, so I want to be able to be a resource and provide resources for those people.
mhm,
Um, and I want to have the time to not worry about, you know, the rest of it. I'd love to go on vacation with my family and, not worry about like, coming home to bills and things like that.
yeah. Where does your love for those people come from?
For the people I want to help.
Yep.
Yeah. Um, I feel like because I'm a good listener, I sit down and I let people talk to me. Um, I've sat with people on some of like their darkest days, and that's just been 10 years of my life as I see people at their worst. And, you know, I wouldn't be in my profession if I didn't care about them.
Right. And so the homeless people, is that also is there any relationship with a previous version of yourself between homeless people and mentally ill?
Um, there's been a lot of mental health issues in my family, and I've seen them suffer. Um, and then as far as homelessness, no, I mean, like I was almost homeless and kicked out at 16, but
Mm,
I wasn't. So, that kind of triggered something in me so that I've always been like, what would I really do if I was in this position and how can I help people who are there?
yeah. Wow. So so that's a core thing for you. Helping homeless and mentally ill people simply because you could look back and see that whatever version of Laura that is and say, man, I want to help people who, thank God I've never been through it, but had I have gone through homelessness, I would have been screwed. I want to help people like that. And then you have on the other side where you are, you've experienced in your family mentally ill, and now you're a listener. You want to help people. You're even in a field where you get to do this. Now, do you think a lot of these backlashes, the people you want to help, um, connect to you not actually putting yourself out there to because of what you are probably thinking you are known for or seen as? Putting yourself out as a real estate investor is going to be like, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, people are always like, why don't you take the next step, you know, in the medical career? And the answer for that was always, I always told everybody, I was like, I just, you know, I love learning, but I don't actually love the process of going through school. And I was like, I don't know if I can put myself through that and work full time
Hmm.
and then still have family. Um, so like, I just let myself kind of get burnout instead in my position. But I still deeply care about the people that I work with and I want to help them. I just want to bring it in a new avenue. So yeah, no, I'm known for one thing, and it wasn't even until this year that I started getting comfortable enough to start telling my coworkers that, oh no, by the way, I just joined a mentorship and I'm learning about real estate. Like it took me a long time to even get comfortable with admitting that.
Yeah. Question. Do you, in real estate, have you ever thought about having like um, group homes and things like that?
I actually have considered that. Yeah. Yeah. I know that there are several people out there doing that.
Mhm.
And I think it would be a good avenue to find out more about and what that process looks like.
What made you not pursue that?
Um, Honestly, because I kind of want to do it on a bigger scale. That's kind of my goal with doing like those 20 units anyways, is I might be able to just kind of do it at a larger scale.
Ah, so you are thinking about doing that, but
Yeah, yeah.
cool. So because here's what I hear from you. I hear that you have this burden, this passion to help people. You know exactly who you would love to help. You know that helping people who are either going through homelessness or mentally ill, you want to help them, but you want to help them on a bigger scale. Now, is that to the forefront of your mind, or is it like somewhere in the back, like, I know I want to do it, but does anyone know that you want to do that? That's the question.
The answer is no, because I haven't told anyone that that is the goal with this. No, I've only just started telling people that no, I want 20 units and I gave myself this goal and I'm out here talking to people, but no, I actually haven't said, hey, this is what I'd really love to do. Um, and that might be because I'm like, okay, well, to get this, I'm going to be leveraging other people and other people's money too. So, it's got to make sense for them too. And I guess I just got to find the right thing that'll work out that way.
That's one way. That's the long way.
The long way. Okay.
That's the really long way to find that thing that would work out that way. If you want to put rocket fuel in you, one, being motivated to do this, and two, getting help from people, you tell them exactly why you want to buy this 20 unit property. That keeping that to the forefront of your mind, because now you're going to be investing for purpose, not just only for profit.
Mm.
When you're fueled by purpose, and that's the main thing, and making money is always the second thing. Typically we put the external first, which is making the money. But I guarantee you, if you switch that around and you start doing it from a purposeful standpoint, where you want to help other people, and Zig Ziglar, he always says, you help enough people will get what they want, you get what you want. Like literally, I believe that could put rocket fuel on what you are wanting to do right now.
Mm. No, I could definitely see that. Yeah. No, maybe I've been going about it completely backwards.
Most people do. Because and here's why. We always try to fix our external problem first. Where we want to fix the money problem versus the internal piece. And it's what happens on the inside then blossoms the thing on the outside. And so if you are taking care of the things on the inside, externally, everything else just kind of works out. And when I say the thing on the inside, that's purpose.
Right. I'm sorry, I'm trying to process everything that you're saying.
Take a second to process.
Yeah. No, that, like, it seems obvious, right? It seems obvious, just, live with purpose. But God, I don't know. Huh. And you know what? Maybe that's another contributing factor to why I'm so slow on it too, is because like I've never been money motivated. Like, getting a raise at work is nice, but it's not a motivator for me.
Right. Most people are not money motivated. They think they are. They think they are, because we could always have the excuses of bills. We could always have the excuses of wanting a new car or a new this or a new that. But I guarantee you, when you get that thing, that burning desires never leaves. It's like, well, what do I do with my life? And I believe firmly the reason why most people don't actually get things done is because they have no idea, when I get this freedom, what am I going to do with my life? If somebody can answer that and they know exactly what they want to do, man, they'll run after those goals like it's the last thing they do.
Yeah.
But when you don't know, when it's just like, what would I do? What, like, and you're just sitting around, why get there? Because at least you're purposeful going to work. At least you're serving some type of purpose at work. At least you got some kind of mission or goal, which is right now for you is going to the hospital or whatever. Take that away from you, give you all your dreams and desires, then what? It's a scary thing.
Yeah, I gotta fill the time with something. Can't just sit and watch TV. I'll go mad. Yeah. Let me ask you this question. So I know you have your vision too of what your purpose in your life is. And you said that goals are to cause you to grow and expand into that version of yourself, how often do you change your goals?
You want the honest answer?
Yeah.
Every day I get a new vision, man.
Oh, that's
Ev-
awesome.
every day, like literally, we just got off of a team call, and I got this. Let's go do blah 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 blah, and they're like, "Calm down, slow down," right? Like, um, no, but and the question that's asked is, Keston, does this goal get us closer to the vision of this company?
Mm.
Right? That's the question that's asked by the integrator. And Keston, does this goal get us closer to the vision of the company? Because every day I practice visualizing. I see things in the future, and I see what my life would be like, and all of this type of stuff, my family and all this stuff. And it's like, guys, let's do this. And I got all these exciting things. And then it's just like, Keston, does this align with the vision of with this company? Maybe it's another company, but does it align with this company? Right. And so I'm being taken through that filter often. Um, but when it comes to goals, again, you could change your goals if it gets you to the same place.
Mm.
Because remember, the vision could be static. The vision of where you're trying to see yourself in 20, 30 years, a lifetime, you can know what you're working towards. And you got to do all of these little things. Me doing this now and where I am is on the ground floor to who I want to be. I want to, my vision is to be bigger than Tony Robbins.
There you
Right.
go. I
So
love that.
this is little baby steps. I got to put in the work. I got to do what I need to do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that. And I like that you're given a filter to help keep you on track as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I definitely need to enhance my filters.
Well, I think even before that, it would be defining that vision story of your life,
Yeah.
because that's the destination, right?
Yeah.
That's the destination. If we were to use a GPS, you're at your current location right now, and the what you need to do is get to the destination. And so, where are you going? What's that address that you're putting in? I'm not so sure that we're extremely clear on that address.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I'm yeah, I probably, if I was probably before I was like spinning the globe and I'm like, "Ah, yeah, I'm just going to land somewhere on Earth." Right? That
Yeah.
was my roadmap. And then I probably like was like, "Okay, yeah, no, we know we're staying in North America." And then was like, "Oh, okay. We might be, going to Nevada. What city? Who knows? We still got to figure out the rest."
here's here's the here's the rub with that. When does your gas run out?
Mm,
Right? You got worn
yeah.
out. You talked about being burnt out. Like, when does all of those things happen? What happens next? You know?
Yeah, no, that's
So
so
having that clear direction as to what you're doing, where you're going, is going to give you efficiency. But
mm,
then the turn by turn directions, you this is where having accountability, having a coach, having all of these things come into play, because I'm sure you've used your GPS and it tells you, hey, turn right on Maiden Lane. And you're like, man, I'm used to going left. I'm not going right. And you go left and you end up in traffic. You end up in something that you shouldn't have gone into. And
Construction zone.
exactly, right? Now, this is where your connection is telling you it could see things that you can't see and is giving you advice, but because you're so used to you being used to going left, that's your paradigms. That's you doing the things that you're so used to doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is that you're not willing to trust the GPS, you're always going to do things that you're comfortable doing, things that you're used to doing. And so there's levels to it, right? You gotta define and understand. Well, it starts with the connection, because without a connection, your GPS just wouldn't work. Then you got to understand your current location. Without understanding where you are, it's almost impossible to get the directions, because it could give you directions from a wrong place. And so getting directions from Keston's location may not be good for you from where you are, right? And so, and then there's the destination. Where are you going? And then you start the journey and you get turn by turn directions. Am I going to trust these directions? Who's going to help keep me accountable for these directions? And so I wish I could say it was just, oh, just go do this. As you do that, you define that, you got to figure out some other stuff as well. But the homework that I would have for you, Laura, would be to define that vision. That what is that story, that vision story that you're gonna write for yourself, so you can enter that into your GPS to start getting directions as to how to go there. I think you have an idea. I just want you to write it down so that when it gets hard, when you start the race and it's like, man, this is crap and it's so hard, you reconnect with it. You reconnect with it and you're encouraged, because you tend to forget. You tend to forget why you start, because it does get hard. That's a fact. It gets hard for everyone. But when you visualize and you reconnect with that vision story, man, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, no, and that's so true. I only just this year put up like an actual vision board, and
Ooh.
it's far from complete. But like, you know, I have my 20 units up there, drew a little picture. I wrote connection in giant letters because I want to connect with as many people as I can. I wrote myself a check for like, you know, how much I want. And then, you know, I even wrote myself an upfront contract.
Oh, did you?
I did. I did this just the other day. So the new one to it is, you know, I wrote an upfront contract with myself, and I wrote, you know, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it even when I don't feel like doing it. And then I signed it and I dated it.
All right. So since you have a contract with yourself, are you going to make a post today? What's up?
Ah, snap. That wasn't a contract, but I should add it. I'll add an addendum, a memo. Yeah, 100% today.
Hey, listen, all of these posts and different things is to get you to the vision. So first things first, define the vision. Define what that is, even if it takes you a day or two or something. Like, define that and do me a favor and send me a message. I'm gonna gift you a guide that I give my high performance students and clients as to how to write this vision. And it's gonna be some prompts that's gonna help you. I think that's gonna really help you to clarify and really get you a full story, because there's a lot of things that you're probably not thinking about that I want you to think about for your life as to who you are and where you're going. And so, but it's only under the condition that you're going to do it. You got to promise me you're going to do it.
Thank you.
Pinky. Let's do it.
All right.
Well, is there, man, you've been amazing. Is there anything else that you want to ask before we get out of here?
Uh, it's Miracle March.
It
You know,
is.
yeah. So how can I help spread the word for you about the rest of the month? It's only day 3.
It's only day 3. Just do what you're doing. Spread the word, share the link, and just let people know what we're doing. And on my birthday, were you on my birthday bash last year?
I got to see the recording of it because I was actually working
Ah.
that day. Yeah.
Well, that's happening again this
Oh,
year.
nice.
It
When's that?
is. And so I'm gonna start sharing the link for that really soon. We have some amazing, like it's even better, some amazing people this year. So look out for that. And so once that's dropped, just share it. Share it. You guys know my mission. My mission is to just give way more than I receive, and to help people that's in situations like you're in and that I was in just being able to know that this stuff exists. Because getting to the next side could seem daunting, but it's possible. And that's the reason why I do this. And so I thank you so much for allowing me to live my purpose and being on here with me.
You're wonderful. Thank you so much, Keston.
Absolutely. Thank you. So, guys, another one. Day 3 in with Laura. I hope you guys got value from this conversation and talking through with Laura about her goal, and not only her goal, but some of the reasons why she may not have been pursuing her goal, and getting her to start writing that vision story, writing that destination as to where she actually wants to go, and then put the goals like stairs towards that vision. So, guys, like and subscribe. I am trying to build my YouTube channel. This is one of the commitments that I've made to myself this year, to start building my YouTube channel. And quite frankly, the reason why I hadn't done it before is because I didn't want to commit to it. I don't like starting things before committing, and I'm committing to it now. And so Miracle March is the perfect time to have started it. So really, really, really do appreciate the support. Please like, subscribe, share this post on Instagram, on Facebook, in your groups, wherever, and just let people know what's going on, and knowing that it's coming from a heart of servanthood. Thank you all so much. Catch you guys tomorrow for day 4. So I'll see you tomorrow for day 4 at 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. All right, catch you guys later. Hold on. Nope, that's wrong. It's at 2 o'clock tomorrow. We're actually doing it at 2 p.m. That was totally wrong, but this is live. I wish I could like delete it, right? Typically, I would go in CapCut and be like, oh, edit that out, but I can't. It's live, so screw it. Tomorrow at 2, we'll be on. Tomorrow is Saturday. I thought tomorrow was a weekday. So tomorrow at 2, we'll be on for day 4. So catch you guys later. Peace and love. Talk to you. Peace.